snow. Plants grown with plasma water will interact with other plants, giving them what they need. So even in the ground, if you want to take a strip of ground over here and you say, oh, I'm going to grow potatoes and water with my plasma water, and then over here I'm going to grow potatoes just with plain water, because you're going to get an interaction of fields. So that is going to interact through the soil, but biology and bacteria is going to give this section because it's lacking. So you're going to have this huge interaction.
You figured out how far the fields can be apart.
About 20 meters minimum.
So if you want to do comparison trials, then you need to go on one end of the paddock and do that, and the other end of the paddock and do it. So don't put it together like that. The shelf life extended and no need for fertilizers. I'll show you. Okay. This comes down to the next question just in time for lunch, and I think it's a vegetarian lunch. Plants are sentient beings. Will we continue to eat them in the future? I have started to communicate with my lettuce plants. It's just a knowing, and if you'd have told me a year ago, I would have probably hit you in the face. I'm not that type of person. But because you're interacting with the plasma all the time, and we've put a lot of plasma in our intentions into our plasma that we use in our systems, and I wanted to have that communication, we're now starting communication. So it's just the same as in the old days when you used to call somebody a gardener, you know, had a green thumb because their garden's always beautiful. Yes, because they were talking to their plants and telling them how beautiful they are. And that's the interaction. So it's nothing new. So we've learned today as well that besides getting our minerals from sea energy, we have weeds in our paddock. So if you look at dandelion, it's got calcium, phosphorus, iron, sodium, potassium. You look at stinging nettle, it's got calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc and copper, potassium. So you can go and chop off some of your weeds, make a food gans of your weeds and use that as your mineral content. You've got to understand why you have weeds in your paddock is because nature is always trying to create balance. So it's going to make certain plants grow which have the minerals that the soil needs, because these will grow up in your paddock, and because they are getting a lot of their minerals and energy from the atmosphere and transforming those minerals into the plant, so that when that plant dies, it's putting that mineral, that gans, back into the soil. So that's nature's way of trying to find its balance, because it's lacking in the soil. So it's going to push up all types of weeds. It's going to attract the minerals that it needs to put it back into the soil.
What's Lantana doing then?
Sorry?
Lantana.
I can't, you know how difficult it is to find chemical breakdowns of different plants. It's so difficult. I couldn't find Lantana because I know that's quite a common one. So, this is my idea. Those that have got a small paddock to try it, please go ahead. What one has to do, plough the land and seed with a green manure. Even do as little no-till as possible, because you're messing with the soil biology. But what you want to do is seed as 50, 100 different roots, herbs, leafy vegetables is not possible, because, as you saw before, we're putting in a whole variety of different minerals that we are taking from the atmosphere. We want to plow that, put that back into the soils. So you want to plant your field, let all the stuff grow to its full height. But first of all, if you want to, you can soak the seeds in CO2. You can spray the land with the plasma compost as a homeopathic stream.
When you change one, it affects the others?
So, you know, you can take a litre of your plasma water and you can put it into 1,000 litres of your big irrigation, and you can, so you use it in a homeopathic way on your fields.
with your plants for compost, and you've got all the different ones there, what ratios do you use, or you just take whatever you want?
Yes, it's just a field. Obviously you want a lot of minerals in there, and then mostly minerals, CO2, and a little bit of the other one, but it's mainly minerals and CO2, because most of our soils are lacking minerals. The spraying can be done several times during the growth of the crops. Cut and mulch, leave the crop on the land. Let it decompose on the land because you want to put that back into your land. Minimal till, and you can do this again. Try and maybe repeat it several times. So you've got to take a piece of land and let it do this over a couple of years. It takes a while. Hopefully with the plasma it might shorten the cycle and you do it maybe over 1 or 2 years. But you'll get a lot of green crops in summer, winter, autumn. Get all that back into your soil. You're going to build your biology back into your soil. The end result is a soil containing a huge amount of organic matter already in a gain state. Okay, so that's what you're doing back to your soil. The organic matter now provides the food for all those tiny organisms which can convert the minerals in the soil into the gains for your plants. So you're giving food for all those other little creatures in there. And when there's food, they will come. That's how nature works, to create the balance. The plasma compost that you're spraying will introduce the fields of every element needed for the soils as well, because each one of those acts as a magnet that you're spraying onto your land, and so that magnet will attract from the atmosphere as well what it needs. So instead of making compost, you make compost on your land, in your land, because that's where it's best served. You can create hundreds of tons of compost instead of buying in compost all the time. You make your land your compost. If you can restore your land, I reckon maybe a couple of years of spraying with the plasma and doing this, then you don't have to do it anymore because your soils would have found it's back to its original balance, and now you can grow whatever you like in there all the time, and you restored your soil.